and resilient. Although, and using space as a way to recover. So like if we shift our awareness around, and yes, I am very bright today. So just gonna name that. Oops, I gotta turn down the volume. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's come in for landing again. Spaciousness and resilience, using space as a place to recuperate so that we can think of with the breath that we're naturally growing and shrinking. So as we inhale, kind of filling up, as we exhale, coming back in towards ourselves. And this is also happening on a cellular level. And then within this whole system, our blood is pumping through us, right? So there's a underlying flow of blood. So with the spaciousness, I think I want to use movement to play with this idea of up and downness. And we could say that up is a recuperation from down, but we could also say that the horizontal plane or the horizontal dimension can be a recuperation for the vertical dimension, or sagittal forward backward could be a recuperation from too much horizontal movement or energy. So let's just play with the three dimensions, our up and downness, the vertical dimension, finding it in whatever way it feels interesting. It could just be in your breath. It could be with your movement. And then also our horizontal, side to side, and it could be dimensional, like single dimension, just side to side, or you could have the whole horizontal plane with some forward backward also. So feeling into the sideness and then into the forward backward. And I don't want to keep us in one area too much. So I want you to just to stay like play in horizontal for a while. And then when you feel like it, change to something else and listen in to when your body wants to change. And it could be that you're doing totally three-dimensional movement. That is also totally acceptable. I want to add a sound, but no vocal cord for the sound. And it'll be like an ah, a silent ah, or a vocalized ah if you want to. I think I'm just going to go silent today with an up and downness, ah, as we're open, ah. And then E for the horizontal. So our face, our mouth is kind of making the shape of the dimension we're working with. Our oo for the forward back. So it's just letting yourself shape your face and your body with these three dimensions, up and down, side to side, forward, backward, and you can move in them. It could just be up, down, side, side, backward, forward in your spine or with your arms or in any way. So just attuning to the three dimensions and feeling what they offer in your system. And if you're laying down, you can take the whole thing and just move it so that there's forward, backward, side to side, and up and down within your body, but we don't need to call them vertical, horizontal, sagittal. So letting yourself move with those breath sounds. So ah is the up and down, like ah. E is the side to side. And oo is the forward backward. And you could take out the movement in your body or minimize it and just play with your face also, feeling how it shapes as you make the different sounds. I'm very upregulated, as you can see. So hopefully we start to rein it in. I can start to downregulate. And it might be that the movement is much smaller, happening in a tiny little way within your system, or it's really three-dimensional. So I'm just naming it in this sort of three-dimensional, vertical, horizontal, sagittal way as sort of the underlying support for any exploration that we're doing in space. If I am moving in space in any way, there's dimensionality to it, right? And it might be more side-side, it might be more up-down, it might be more forward-backward. And it might be really 3 dimensions going all together where we're like reaching into those diagonals. So just enlivening your conception of the space, of the geometry of the space, so that you can feel into it. So that it's like we're creating a relationship with the space around us and also the space inside of us. And we're using these breath sounds, the ah, for the vertical, the E for the horizontal, and the ooh for the forward, backward, sagittal. When I close my eyes and I move with the sounds, like all sorts of imagery pops up for me and it slows me down. So feel free to do anything, eyes open, closed. It's all just an invitation. You can follow the things I'm offering or go somewhere totally different. It's completely up to you. It's just to awaken, enliven, and notice what's going on within our system, within the moment, with maybe more, I don't want to say granularity because that sounds so much like sand or sugar, but think of it as more smoothness, like more relationship to what you're feeling. Yeah, granular sounds weird to me. So feeling it with more of a lean into the vibratory patterning that you take on as you move in these ways. I'm just going to add one more thought. This gesture of up and down is very much an I am gesture. Here I am. So anytime I'm coming into that verticality, it's sort of in relationship to my central channel, to heaven and earth if I'm standing up. So there's this up and down, ground below, sky above relationship to that if I'm seated or standing. This, the side to side, can be very much the we are, like, here's my friend on this side, here's my friend on that side. This is sort of the table of information, maybe we could gather in, we could scatter out within the whole plane if I add the front back to the side side. But thinking of this side sideness as sort of the we are, and then the forward backwardness as will, like I will or I won't. It's decision making. I'm going to back up. I'm not ready to move forward on this. So just feeling how those dimensions land in our body and how we relate to them. I know I'm ready to move forward because I can feel my body going there. Or, oh, I can feel my whole body backing up. I need to back up for a minute. So we're trying to bring in this sense of honor to our relationship with our body, with movement and space and spatial movement, geometric space. Like if we take this as an inner scaffolding, and we put something around it, we would be on the inner scaffolding of the octahedron, the up, down, side, side, forward, backward. So, or also it could be the mandala with the above, below, side, side, forward, backward. And you can place whoever you want in those sextants. But generally we're going to feel earth below, sky above, the whole of everything with us here in the side, side, and then action into the future or into the past with the forward, backward. So layering that in and then giving yourself freedom to move in any way. Maybe still playing with the breath sounds, inviting in ripples, waves, and undulations. When the 3 dimensions work together and the movement is happening with those all, like I'm moving backwards and sideways and down, like we've got 3 things happening together, it's really 3-dimensional. And that kind of movement is very healthy for our tissue, for the fluid in our body to readjust. So inviting yourself to go completely out of the 3 dimensions into all 3 working together in whatever way feels good. Bringing in the images that come to you. When I start to bring my body into the practice and add the breath sounds, I really feel like I'm spell casting. I'm casting spells. So inviting in any kind of imagery for you or any kind of archetype that comes in with the movement. And it might be different. Like as I go forward and backward, that might be very different archetypal imagery than as I go side to side. How does it feel when we rise? How does it feel when we descend? When we widen or narrow or advance or retreat? Giving yourself full permission to receive the information from your body as you move, right? Whatever information needs to filter through your system or maybe filter through your consciousness through movement, let that stuff start to come online, inviting your highest intelligence in as sort of the alignment overseer so that you're in coherence with your body mind. But letting yourself maybe move in ways that are slightly new and unfamiliar, or in ways that are very familiar and feeling into that as well. I'm going to add sound. Oops, and my camera just went off. I'm just going to, I'll just work on getting the sound connected and then fix the camera. Yeah, so this is Ambient Fields album 1, song 1, which I recently just got. Just let the sound join into your exploration while I try and fix my camera. Allowing yourself to move in any way that feels good, maybe taking it down to the floor or taking it up. Feeling also the support of gravity, right? The support of the gravitational pull of the earth, and then the levity as we sort of rebound from sinking into the earth. So we have that which pulls us down, and also this capacity to rebound. So we have levity and lightness, as well as this sense of the earth below us. Listening into your body and listening to where it wants to go, giving your body the choice to move in whatever ways feel good to you, to it. So moving towards what feels good in the interest of releasing anything that might be stuck, and inviting all three dimensions to dance together in any way that feels interesting. And maybe different body parts want to go in different directions. All of it is welcome. If you feel like you're repeating things and moving with the same movement, it's fine if you're in discovery with that. That's totally fine. But if you feel like, if you want to change patterning, try to move towards what is less familiar, move towards the unfamiliar. And it might be in a very tiny level, like micro movement level, or it might be in a big macro level, in a whole body postural or gestural movement. You could also ask your body, like, where to go next? Where do I need to go? Giving yourself time to receive the answers that are there within, or just to explore. tuning into whatever rhythms in your body are arising, or whatever vibrations or feelings or tempos. And in this work, really being gentle with yourself and your self-talk, being kind, allowing whatever's unfolding to unfold as much as you are ready to let it unfold. And trusting yourself and your cells to know when you're ready to move into something else. Deep, deep listening into yourself, into the moment. Also listening to what is calling you. Maybe in movement. Without having to grab onto anything. Nothing to remember or to know that you have to grip tightly onto. You just can be easy with it, letting everything be easy. Feeling into your relationship with the exact moment as it happens, into sensation, into awareness, dropping into it and allowing. Offering your system, your nervous system, the fluids in your body, your fascia, your organs, offering your system just the chance to slow down and balance. working together with yourself, working in harmony with yourself. Allowing all the versions of yourself, just some integration. And with the idea of spaciousness, sometimes it feels good to really open up and take up space, but we can also enclose within that. That can be spacious too, enclosing within ourselves, curling into our nautilus spiral. Your own inner sort of Tai Chi, just directed by your own self. Allowing the flows of energy in your body to connect and harmonize. Or to integrate, maybe is a better word, coherent body. Letting yourself dive into being. Allowing yourself to be in your body without a plan for what it needs to look like, without a plan of how your body is supposed to be, without any shoulds or need to change what it is. Allowing it to be in movement in any way. Or in stillness. We're moving whether we're moving or not, right? Our breath is moving us, our blood flow, all the fluid flows in the body. Maybe there's some untapped resilience or intelligence in different areas. Just inviting that in. allowing the body of water that you are to move like water. I'm just coming back to playing with the up and down, the side side and the forward backward, but without having to do it in a linear fashion, letting that all be very alive. Even the bones are 20% water, or I mean, they're much more water than they're very wet and supported by water. Let's put it that way. So they might be the densest, most fibrous places in our body, but they are informed by water. Allowing our organs to be spacious as well, allowing our gut body to take up as much space as it needs to take up. And have movement inside there so surfaces can slide and glide against each other, so things aren't becoming adhesed where they don't need to be. Even like the inside of our lungs against the inside of our rib cage. We want really slidey, smooth surfaces, slidey, glidey. And when we move in these more fluid ways, letting go with more sort of free flow movement in our body, we're allowing those spaces to just be spacious. the more fluidity I can find in my own system and openness in these practices, the less I need to control the outer world. And the more that as I'm in the world, I'm like, oh, that's what's happening, without a lot of tension or whatever, graspy weirdness. And also, the more clear I am about when I do need to say something, or when I do need to step in, or when something needs to happen, because I have spent the time deeply in communion with this, with my body mind. The truth is there. It's accessible. It's not something I'm hiding from or obscuring. The truth for me of what I need to say something now, or I need to change this thing, or I need to go somewhere else, or I need to whatever. That's all speaking, and I'm hearing it. I'm in relationship with that, honoring it. I'm going to take that down. And let's have a few minutes of just processing the processing, which might be in stillness, it might be in movement, whatever feels good for you. Maybe even hand on chest, hand on belly, or hands on belly. Self-touch. Giving and receiving at the same time through self-touch. Noticing what you notice. The energetic pattern all around that we're all participating in approves of self-care, approves of the time for you to go in and be with yourself, right? Everyone benefits when we are in harmony with ourselves. Although sometimes it doesn't feel like that. Sometimes it's a little bit more obscure. I'm going to close out the live stream. I know I got somebody out there watching, so thank you for joining. And if you're